Testing, testing, 1, 2.
Get it, target on me, so my car's a tinny. Dancing with the devil, I don't bargain with it. Bobbing in the dash, and the stick is with it. And I hit the 4-5 on the west side, but I'm from the east side. This how we slide, this how we ride, yeah, yeah, this how we ride. Going pro, no lead, make it easy like 1, 2, 3. Go, go, on 3, 2, 1. I fly till you can't see me. Swish, yeah. Ballin', from the first whistle we go all in. And when numbers up and never falling. My baby called me and said she need to stay. Be for real, 25 the other type of kid. Stop playing with me, you know that you here to stay. Stop playing with me, I'll be back home in 8. Know I'm on the go, but I'm not over you. Made you far from home, but I'm so close to you. Gotta get that back like I'm supposed to do. Had to rush that re-up cause I'm overdue.
Okay, hold on now. Okay, hold on now. We got a little technical difficulties. What's going on here? What's going on here? We got some technical difficulties. Yo, can I get a thumbs up? Can somebody hear me? Can somebody hear me? Let's get the thumbs up. Let's get what's going on. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, because I guess the problem is I can't hear myself, and I could not hear the funky outro music. But let's kind of work this out, folks. If you're watching, go ahead and give me a little bit in the chat and say what's happening. All right, let's get this going. All right, what up? Hey, I'm glad to see people are starting to come in here. Let me go ahead. Let me see if I could get this. Let's go for the default speakers for the audio. Let's get a little music going. Nope, can't do anything with the default speakers. I can't hear myself. That's crazy. But you know what? That is okay. That is okay. I'll deal with it. We will see. Oh my goodness. Whew. I tell you, it gets what's the best way for me to put this? This is just one of those days. You know, when you have one of those days. Okay, I'm glad you guys can hear me fine. I guess I'm still going to have a little problems with the funky outro music. That's what it is. I think that's what's going on. What's happening, everybody? What's good? What's going on? All right. So let me go ahead, finish a couple of settings, and let's talk a little bit. We are here, and I've made a couple of changes. And when I made these changes, I've been hexed. Yes, I got my new headset. This is my new headset. This is and I guess that's why it's giving me a little issues, because I want to make sure that everything works well. So, you know, it is what it is. I worked with it last week. I guess I knocked the settings off when I rebooted the machine and did some other adjustments, but that's cool. That's cool. Welcome to the recording of the podcast, Going Full Nerd. Yes, it is time for that shameless plug, and we're going to do a little bit different this week for the shameless plug. The shameless plug starts off like this, and that is, please check out goingfullnerd.com for the latest in comic book press releases, news, and all that good stuff. I really got to start updating that website, worth a dang. But you can check out Going Full Nerd on youtube.com/goingfullnerd. And we got a little caveat about that. But you can also check out the podcast on this home, anchor.fm/goingfullnerd, Spotify, iTunes Podcast, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, or wherever you choose to consume your podcast listening needs. You know, while you're riding in the train, getting in the bus, going in your car, listening to the golden tones of me. But I said I was going to get back to what I say about YouTube. YouTube has just blessed your boy, because now I'm able to monetize on YouTube. What does that mean for you? Yeah, when you go back and watch the videos, you may see some ads popping up, but that's a good thing for me because I need those ads to help keep this going. Plus, if you look at the bottom, I kind of changed the message. The message was go somewhere, donate to your boy. You could do it right now from inside of YouTube. That's right. You can put it inside of YouTube because Super Chat is now available. Meaning if you got something important to say, break out some of that Skrilla and it'll pin it to the top for everybody to see. Anyway, all right, everybody. All right. Yes, I saw the golden Trump statue. Yo, I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm not even going to discuss that. You know, if you want to talk that, I'm gonna send you over to those Lost Brothers, the Hodge twins channel, because they lost. I said it. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm like Shannon Sharp. I got my Hennessy. I'm good. But let's go through this. Thank you guys for working with me through my technical difficulties in the beginning. So let's go. Theories change, folks. Theories change. We are almost at the end of our Wanda Vision journey, and I hope you stuck around from the beginning to see how this developed. I mean, honestly, if you didn't, you wouldn't know about all my great theories from the beginning, from watching episode 1 all the way to present. Now, here's the thing. Who cares if I'm right or wrong, right? Because theories change with each episode. Now, I am going to give you guys an update, and this is how we're going to approach the final episode, which airs next week. Yo, Sincere B, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you about the congrats on the growth. My man Sincere B dropping the $5. That's my man right there. Hey, you've been with me from the start, man. I'm just saying. You want hey, good looking now. Good looking out. I like that. So check this out, folks. Here goes the dealio. All right. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I got right from the previous videos, what I got wrong, and then we're going to get really into the next one. We're going to get into what we can expect from that final episode, episode 9 of WandaVision that's dropping next Friday. All right. So what has been proven to be wrong from my previous predictions? Okay. All right. Let's talk wrong. Wrong. I made a Kang the Conqueror connection prediction. I mean, I'm not fully backing away from it. Possibly a retcon, but this one is definitely a WandaVision fail at this point. So no Kang the Conqueror coming up in WandaVision. They made that announcement. His ass going to be inside of Ant-Man Quantumania. It is what it is. All right. Boom. We good on that one. All right. Wrong prediction. Wanda being involved with the government to reactivate Vision. Now, if you remember, my first prediction was Wanda was going somewhere on Sword's behalf, and something happened and went wrong. That was all wrong. That was like from the first video I did, regarding theories change. I blew that one. That one, poof, gone. It just doesn't work. Okay. All right. So let's move on. The next one, Sword's reasons for the hex, but their reason to want to get in, that was close. Okay. That ties into my last wrong prediction about them going in and all that good stuff as teamed up with Wanda. It was wrong. Sword. They screwed the pooch, man. Sword is something. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the podcast. We're going to get it going. We're going to get it going. But your boy did get some stuff right. I got some stuff right. Yes, I did. And I'm going to say, I'm not going to say I got it right. I'm going to say we got it right. Okay. This is a group effort. All right. Because I do listen to you guys. Okay, so correct prediction. Sword's acquisition of the Vision and his reactivation. That Project Cataract that they've been talking about. We're going to get into White Vision by the time we get to the end of this episode. But we knew we were right about that. Project Cataract was about creating the White Vision. Now, history on White Vision, government kidnapped Vision at one point in the comic books, took his ass apart, and he ended up coming back pasty white. It is what it is. I think we're getting a little bit of that storyline play in WandaVision. Okay, just going there. That was from my very first review. Interesting. Okay, correct prediction. Monica Rambeau as Spectrum or Photon. Hey, I know we all got this one correct. So let's, pat ourselves on the back. Let's pat ourselves on the back. Okay, all right. Correct prediction. Hex magic. Hex magic. Darcy brought it out. We said it. And we, meaning all of us, we said it when they said, oh, it's hexagon shape. We knew from the comic books. Wait. Good job. Good job. Another correct prediction. Agnes or Agatha, as we now know her, she was faking being under the spell. Hey, I called it. When Vision met her at the edge of town, I said she was faking it. I said she was. I think we all got that correct because we knew Agnes was going to be Agatha Harkness. But you knew I had that right. You knew that was right when I talked about that at the end of that episode. Because it was Agatha all along. Ow! Okay. All right. Now, to be determined, but more than likely dead leads. Okay. Missing astronauts discussed in the very, what was that, episode 4, where we finally found out about Sword and all that good stuff and details. Missing astronauts they talked about. That was just a red herring, missing lead that is not going to be the Fantastic Four. Just like everybody was talking about the engineer that Monica was looking for. It wasn't Mr. Fantastic, so we're not getting any Fantastic Four leads in. But, could it be? Could be, but more than likely that's a dead lead. Another one, to be determined, but it's likely a dead lead. Dottie being Mephisto or Hydra connected. I think we have pretty much written off Mephisto. I mean, some of you may be holding on to that Mephisto thing. I'm going to say it. It's all good. It's good. Do your thing. Hold on to your thoughts. I'm still struggling and holding on to my nightmare thing. It is what it is as a big bad. Adjusted into this, but that's fading real quick, as Mephisto should be fading real quick out of everybody's mind. Dottie could be Clea. That's a thought. But since we haven't seen Dottie since that one episode, hey, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. But there is some significance to Dottie. I think there is going to something come about. She's been seen twice in this whole thing. I don't know. She could be Clea out of Doctor Strange. It's a possibility, but I am not going to put any bets on that one. There's more to Dottie to come, but I just don't know what it could be. Now, everybody seems to be dropping Ultron. It is not, you know what? I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Let's talk about that in a minute. So where are we now? We are now up to episode 7 and 8. I told you last week I wasn't going to talk about episode 7 until we got episode 8 because, you get cliffhanger, you get explanations. Cliffhanger, explanations. They switched it up on me. I got cliffhanger. I guess episode 9 is going to be, I'm going to explain some of this, and then I'm going to hold you guys off, because that's what Marvel does. They kind of drag us on for years at a time. I mean, how long did it take for us to get Thanos from that first Avengers movie? You know what I'm saying? I'll do it myself. But anyway, all right, all right. And I don't think she's Doctor Strange. I don't think so. We got something. I'm gonna throw something else out there. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, everyone. I got you. I got you. All right. So where are we now? Let's talk about a couple of things. The book that they showed at the end of episode 7. A lot of people have been saying it was the Darkhold. It is not the Darkhold. The Darkhold has already been established in the MCU. I don't care whether or not you think that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a canon show, but the Darkhold has already been established. They got the prop. Hey, they're not going to go ahead and make a whole brand new damn prop. They're not. They're going to use the old props and they're going to recycle that. Just like TV shows recycle backdrops. Heck, I think they recycled the old Brady Bunch backdrop for this show. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so what is that book? That book is called The Necromenon. Okay, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't care. Hey, that's how I'm going to pronounce it, The Necromenon. And what it is, it's a small part of the Darkhold. Basically, it is a small part of lore from the Shiatara Book of the Damned, the Darkhold. All right. Or patterned after it. It made its appearance in a few comic books, but it is a connection to the elder god Chthon, or Chthon, or Chthon, or whatever you want to call it, Chthon, or whatever you want to call him. Here's the deal. Here's the dealio. And this is my thing. This is my thing. Take a sip. This book, all right, if you reference old school 1970s Avengers books, this was one of the first times in the comic books that Scarlet Witch lost her damn mind. And it was at Wundagore Mountain, which they've had some, what they call, what do they call it? They had some Easter eggs for it inside of Wanda Vision. I mean, they did have Bova milk in the animated series. Bova was a cow mutated by the High Evolutionary in the comic books. It is what it is. No, we're not going to get the High Evolutionary in this. It is what it is. But here's the thing. That may play something because they wouldn't have zoomed in on it like they did at the end of episode 7. They wouldn't have zoomed in on it if it didn't mean anything. So I figure we'll learn what that book is, either if not in this final episode of WandaVision, but we'll find out about it in the next Doctor Strange movie. Just putting it out there. Episode 8. Okay, episode 8. Let's get here. Because episode 7, really that was the Agatha all along thing. It showed us all the little magical things that were going on. And, just the fact that Agatha felt some kind of way, you could still tell that Agatha was not the main cause of it, by paying attention to how she approached Monica. Okay? How she approached Monica was kind of off. It was like, yo, no, you're done here, lady. Roll out. It wasn't so much in a threatening way, like she was the one creating this issue, but she was the one kind of prodding things along because she was curious. That leads us into episode 8. That leads us into what's going on. That leads us into the why Agatha is doing what she is doing. Okay, basically we ended up with an extended origin of Wanda, aka the first time it's ever mentioned in the MCU, the Scarlet Witch. I mean, it showed. I mean, if you didn't like the first 2 black and white episodes, you should be appreciating those episodes, okay? And you should be appreciating the commercials shown in the sitcom portions of this show, because the trip down memory lane that we got regarding Wanda's origins really explains a lot. And let's dig into it a little bit deeper. I'm sorry I didn't mention this earlier. There is spoilers. So it is what it is, okay? All right. So think about this, all right? It fleshes out stuff, but what does it flesh out? It explains Wanda's powers and how they actually came about. Now, here's the thing. What we're learning about the MCU is there's two major outlets of power in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. All right? Here's the dilly. All right. First issue is the Infinity Stones. We know the Infinity Stones, that cosmic radiation, from the Big Bang and all the energy they talk about. Infinity Stones are the first thing we came into contact with. That's the Infinity Saga. That's done. Phases 1 through 3. Now we're in phase 4. Okay. Now, what we're learning, magic, as explained slightly in the Thor movies, delved into inside of Doctor Strange, and now we're getting it expanded upon in phase 4. Here's what I'm talking about. Magic is just another form of science. That was explained in the Thor movies. That's how Thor explains it. There are rational actions and reactions to magic in the MCU. Now, here's the thing. We learned in Doctor Strange that magic comes from various sources. It is not just something poof that just pops out of thin air. They come from extra dimensional beings, or they come from objects of power, such as the Infinity Stones. All right? Got it. Yeah, low cuts. I'm going to agree with you on that. We're getting to that. We're getting to that. All right. Now, think about this. Magic is now an integral part of the MCU, and with this timeline, the after Endgame timeline, the Infinity Stones were reduced to atoms. It did not say it was destroyed. If it was reduced to atoms, that does not mean they were destroyed. Let's go back to science. Okay? Science. Here goes science. Science, the first law of thermodynamics, also known as the law of conservation of energy, states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred or changed from one form to another. So the Infinity Stones, I will tell you, they are still in effect. They were reduced to atoms. They are not singular as in objects of power anymore, but their influence is still in the MCU. Okay, the power that they have has now been spread across the universe. If you don't believe me, go listen to Thanos' speech before Thor cut off his head. Check it out. Get back with me. Now, here's the deal. How will we get mutants in the MCU? This is the key. That energy was dissipated into atoms, reduced to atoms. Therefore, what are X-Men known as? Children of the atom. Are we going to get X-Men soon? No, because this energy has to permeate through the Marvel universe. It has to make its way around. It has to be explained, even with the magic portion coming out. That's why the statement made by Kevin Feige a while ago as to when are we going to see the X-Men? It's going to be a few years off, because that's growing. That's festering. That's maturing. We're going to get there. Trust me, we're going to get there. All right. Okay, let's go. But let me get back to WandaVision as a whole. See, I got notes. Let me get back to WandaVision as a whole. Okay. All right. Car, tell me, you talking about, you thinking it may be Morgan? Nah, not yet. I know she got that, but they're not going to get into Morgan Le Fay. It's not going to happen. Too close to characters that they don't really have copyrights on. Morgan Le Fay is a King Arthur character. It may be open source for people to write about. I don't know. I have to look it up, but we'll see. All right, now let's go. All right. What they did explain is this. My final is this. Wanda had magical powers. We know magic existed. Ancient One from Doctor Strange shows it. Magic exists. Doctor Strange learning how to tap into it. Hey, magic exists. Extra dimensional beings. Thor shown this. Okay? It is, eventually, or did we already get, Doctor Strange doing his comic book line by the hoary hosts of Agatha, or whatever you be saying. It is what it is. So we're gonna see what it does. But here's the deal: we got the fact that Wanda had some sort of latent ability. That could be a mutant ability. I don't know. But she had, or it could be magic based. I'm leaning more towards magic based just because of how the comic books treating her, that she's not a mutant in the comic books anymore, or never was. She was manipulated for people to think she was. It is what it is. But let's go. Here we go. She had latent magical abilities. Agatha said it. Those abilities would have faded away had it not been for Hydra subjecting her to the Mind Stone, another power source in the MCU, and the Mind Stone showed her part of her future. Okay, didn't know the Mind Stone was that powerful, but imbued her with a portion of its energy, which kept her latent abilities out there. That's where when my man Low Cut says, "Hey," when my man Low Cut says, "Hey, she stopped the bomb from going off," makes sense. Latent magical, not mutant, magical abilities could be mistaken for mutant, but latent magical. Now, here's the key. That was her. Quicksilver himself probably had a mutant ability because he was fast, but he wasn't fast enough to dodge them bullets. Just saying. That was not explained. That could be a plot hole. Don't know. All right. Here we go. So let's go. My final predictions before we get this series wrap up next week. We're ready. We're going to see. I want y'all to quote me on these because this is where we're going to go. Number one, let's talk fake Pietro, or Fietro as Agatha Harkness called him. Agatha's statement that she was the eyes and ears of him and the end credit scene of episode 7 lead me to believe there's a slim chance that this fake Pietro is either Mordo or Doctor Strange, who got caught up trying to help. I mean, these guys are in New Jersey, across from New York, where Doctor Strange Sanctum Sanctorium is, and you can't tell me that Doctor Strange didn't notice an eruption of what Agatha called chaos magic. Or he hasn't been tracking Agatha. Let's go back to the Thor movies, because Doctor Strange tracks beings of magical power. He was tracking Loki. He tracked Odin. Why wouldn't he track Agatha Harkness? Okay? And assess her power levels as a threat. Think about that. Work with me. Work with me. Work with me. Okay? So, that's one option for fake Pietro. The other portion of fake Pietro, I was listening to another YouTube channel, which will remain anonymous at this point, because, I don't want them thinking I stole an idea from them. But they were saying maybe he's still connected to Agatha in one reason. Could be Agatha's familiar, or it could be Agatha's son from the comic, Nicholas Scratch. I think that's Scratchy the Bunny personally, but hey, it is what it is. Or I don't think they're going to go follow that any at all. All right. So let's talk about something else. Let's talk to kids. I'm going to tell you, they already said the last episode is going to be a tearjerker. People are going to be crying. We're going to be boo-hooing. And the only way you're going to be boo-hooing is Disney either kills a parent or kills the kids. I'm going to be honest. Hey, don't sit here and say Disney's toned down. It'll be emotional. It'll be off screen. I mean, heck, they killed Mufasa. You know what I'm saying? They killed Mufasa. If you could kill Mufasa, hey, these kids dropping the bucket, Disney. But here goes the thing. That'll get you weeping because, Wanda's all about her kids. All right? Now, this will lend to the newly dubbed Scarlet Witch either going over the deep end or falling into a point where she's going to get tutelage from Doctor Strange afterwards to find a way to get those kids back into this reality. You know, that's where the resurrection stuff, like happened in the comic books, they're not her biological kids, but they're her spiritual kids in the comics. We're talking Wiccan and Speed, which these two seem to be modeled behind with their clothing colors and their power capabilities. Just showing. Yeah, yo, Bambi's mom got waxed back in the 50s. So, you know, you can't tell me that Disney's not above, you know, getting that tearjerker moment. I'm just saying. Darcy's going to survive. I'll just let you go. All right, let's talk next. Let's talk about Agatha. Agatha may fall victim to one of what I call the failing plot points of MCU. Something that the MCU does, and I really don't like that they do it, but that's their style for this alternate Earth, not our comic book Earth. All right, is they kill off major villains. Hey, it's a known fact. They off some major villains for the most part. And they take them off the playing field, never to be used again. Let me say it one more time. Never to be used again. Okay, so here's the deal. All right. Agatha is going to probably go the way of Yellow Jacket, Whiplash, Ironmonger, Crossbones, Thanos, Killmonger, Hela, Ronan the Accuser. Hey, and I don't think that's Marvel doing it on purpose. I think that's the fact that Marvel is signing these big name actors to play these major ass villains. I mean, Catherine Hahn is a major actor, you know, and they can't afford that paycheck for a long time. I mean, I'm just saying. Just saying. Or if they do something with her, she'll disappear and come around at a later time. You also got to remember, we've got the Mordo character from Doctor Strange running around sucking up magic from those he deems not necessary. So she could fall prey to that. I'm telling you. Now, let's talk about the Vision. The Vision. Vision will become whole again. Yes, sort of. You know, we are going to get the showdown between White Vision and the Wanda Vision. You like how I did that? I know y'all like how I did that. Come on. I know y'all like how I did that. Give me a thumbs up. I know y'all like how I did that. All right. Inside of the Hex. Okay. We know they had a continuity screw up because the Vision inside of the Hex could not be tracked by a decaying vibranium signature because Wanda did not take the body according to episode 8's credit scene. End credit scene, all right? Just letting you know. That was a lie by Hayward. We know that. The WandaVision was created from the remnants of the Mind Stone energy within Wanda. This was signified by the golden yellow separation of power when she lost her mind, broke down into emotion, cried on the place where her and Vision were supposed to retire, and you saw the yellow energy separate from the scarlet energy, and it formed Vision, and then it basically, you know, empowered her. It is what it is. Now, the Vision will be made whole, but we will have to speculate about him being powered either by Wanda's residual magic, like they bring in this White Vision online with, or the Mind Gem facsimile that could be the Solar Gem, which powers Vision in the comics. Think about it, you know, at the end, once you get the merger. If they do that merger to bring us a semblance of our Vision we met back in Age of Ultron. Think about that, okay? Think about that. I'm going to get back to playing Madden football in a little bit. This is a little more important. Don't be mad, Ricky Williams, because you caught an L from me on the Xbox. See, I had to go there. So now, let's go. Let's get this going. Now, Monica, you know, Monica Rambeau. Let me make sure my wife ain't looking. Fine self. Okay, Monica Rambeau, her story begins here, and I look forward to that growth as a character, and hopefully we get the intro of her as a powerful addition to the Avengers as either Spectrum or possibly honoring her mom by using her mom's pilot call sign Photon. I'm going to just leave it at that, because I don't think they're going to dig too much more into what she does. Now, as far as WandaVision's Luke Skywalker moment, it's going to be one of these characters. Okay, everybody's been saying the last one is going to get a Luke Skywalker moment. And if you're unfamiliar with what the Luke Skywalker moment is, that's going to be like when we saw Luke Skywalker de-age, the deep fake that they did in the final episode of The Mandalorian, the season of Mandalorian. We're going to get in this. Now, here's the thing. Paul Bettany said it's a character, a person, not a character, but a person he admires very much and has always wanted to work with. And since he's been with the MCU, he has not worked opposite this individual. So I started thinking and started looking. It could be, all right, one of these characters. All right, could be Hayward. He could be revealed as having a connection to something more sinister. Maybe he will be the connection to the Flag Smashers that are going to be the villains inside of the upcoming Falcon and Winter Soldier, or have a connection to Baron Zemo. Probable? Doubtful? Yeah, but could it happen? Hey, I don't know. I'm not one of the writers. I'm just a guy like you, making guesses. Now, here we go. Maybe Hayward is a Kree spy, or possibly a Skrull who wants conflict. Remember, the Skrulls were portrayed as peace-loving allies at this point in the MCU. He seems to be the MCU replacement for the comic book character Henry Gyrich. That's the one in the original comics, I think, that worked with dismantling and making the Vision white. I think it was. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and read some books. If somebody can send me a comment, that would be great, and I'll check it later on this week. But we already know he has a dislike of superheroes. We know that Phase 4 is going to be dealing with the return from the snap and, honestly, the fallout. This is shown Hayward is pissed. And that's why Sword went from world observation to weapons observation. We already see from the trailers of the upcoming Falcon and Winter Soldier, Zemo says superheroes are useless and he doesn't want them. Okay, we're learning. So basically, and you see from Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man is treated as a menace and all hell is breaking loose. So superheroes are not the happy people that we think they're going to be following a victory against Thanos. Persecution, problems, so this looking real dark for Phase 4 of the MCU. Now, here's the other key. Here's the people. Let's go. Doctor Strange, most likely. Paul Bettany has not worked on camera with Doctor Strange. With Benedict Cumberbatch. In an interview, Paul Bettany stated that it was a great actor, which Cumberbatch is, and he has never worked directly with him in MCU. That's a highly probable cameo at the end of WandaVision. Okay, now here's another one. Could it be Nick Fury or Talos? We already know that Talos was impersonating Nick Fury in Spider-Man Far From Home. We know that was going down, but this could be a connection to the upcoming Secret Invasion event. That's a couple of years away, and it could show that possibly maybe Hayward is a Kree infiltrator, and they flipping the thing from, hey, it's not Skrulls hiding in plain sight, it's Kree, impersonating people that we in powerful places don't know. Could happen, could be, but that series is like maybe 2 years away. Could be Nick Fury, maybe. We don't know where Nick Fury's at. We know he's on a spaceship now, but this takes place before we saw that scene in Spider-Man Far From Home's after credits. So who knows? Could that be Paul Bettany? Well, technically Paul Bettany as the voice of Jarvis was in the movie with Nick Fury, but they never shared a scene together. Could be, maybe. No, that could be a guess. That's a guess. All right. Far Reach. Hey, it's Phil Coulson. I know some of y'all said, no, it can't be Phil Coulson. But that would be cool if it was Phil Coulson. Bring him back. He was the OG connection for all this stuff. And I would love for it to bring Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. back into the fold of connected stories. I know Kevin Feige and everybody else, had issues with the Whedons and Marvel TV, but let's try to get this all back in together. I loved when they used to say it's all connected. We need it all connected. Come on, work with me here. All right. Last but not least, I'm going to say next week is the final episode of Wanda Vision, all right? I'm thinking of doing an extra live show because we got a lot of stuff getting ready to come out. We got the Tom and Jerry movie I got to watch and record a review on that. We got Coming to America coming out. I got to watch that and talk about that. I really don't think I should dedicate another Sunday show to WandaVision unless it's that damn good. So we're going to make some decisions. You let me know. I'm thinking Saturday sometime to go ahead and record another podcast live, let you guys join in. Let me know if that works. Let me know if that works. Leave something in the comments. Go ahead, send me a note on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Onyx1969, on Twitter, and we can see what that's going. All right, everybody. All right. So, theories change. We got one more episode of Theories Change on WandaVision. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yo, are we going to get West Coast Avengers? Nah, I don't think so. But it's nice to see all these nods to the comic books. It really is. And I would love to know what these guys' contracts look like because, hey, that's what's really going to tell the tale is how much money is Disney / Marvel Studios paying these guys, because that's going to tell us whether or not we're going to get a lot more of the same. They're being real nebulous. They already said that WandaVision is a miniseries, but now they're being nebulous, talking about we could get a season 2. I don't think so. I think this story has run its course. I think this story is perfect. We don't need any more WandaVision. If you're going to do another miniseries dealing with the character of Vision, and now first time in the MCU calling her Scarlet Witch, that would be awesome, but it would have to go down a different route and stay away from the dynamics or the family dynamic that they portrayed here in WandaVision. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hey, as always, I thank each and every one of you for joining in. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm just glad to share that I wouldn't be able to do the things I do now on YouTube without each and every one of you. You guys watched my content. You guys took the time to listen, interact, and have fun with me every Sunday, and that means I need to increase that so we can have fun even more. So anyway, as always, I'm going to kick that funky outro music, and I am going to tell you, hey, none of this is possible without each and every one of you. And if you want to sponsor me, hey, Super Chat is open. Donations, I take them. And you guys are awesome. So, remember what I always say. If you can't say something nice about somebody, don't say anything at all. Send me the message. Let me say it. I will say it for you. And funky outro music. Hey, I'm still fly. Let's go.
I could really use a change of scenery.
See, now I can hear my music.
Smoking all the greenery. Close the match 'cause they were handed down to me. But I'm still fly. I'm still fly. I know. I'm still fly. I'm
Still fly as go. Hey man, like I say, I appreciate each of y'all. Come on, everybody, hit the like button. I see y'all all in here. Hey, help me out. Like, share, subscribe. Get everybody coming in, kicking it with your boy. I gotta do this. We gotta really get the live call-in stuff kicking off soon too. But I can't do that until we got a bunch of y'all. I'd rather have the phone lines ringing off the hook and be like, yo, I can't talk to this one or this one. I want to talk to this one. Let's rock it out. Peace, y'all. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the undisputed, brand new King of the Nerds on YouTube, it's Onyx, the podcast you love to hate.
Cheers to all the haters, 'cause you proved to me that rising to the top was my destiny. And you can see whatever from behind me, but I'm still fly.